Hey, what's up, guys? It's me again. We're back at it again with another NFL Week 8 picks and predictions. Last week I went 10 and 5, bringing my overall record to 62 and 45. At least we're getting positive weeks, boys. So without further ado, let's just head straight into the video. So we're gonna go with Thursday Night Football, Minnesota Vikings at the LA Rams. LA Rams look like they're gonna be starting Cooper Kupp. Glad to see him back. He's been in a lot of trade rumors, along with Matthew Stafford going to the Vikings as rumors. I don't believe that. That's a bit of a strange one considering the record of the Vikings, and that would just lose all trust in Sam Darnold after only one loss. But this is gonna be a trap game. I'm picking the Vikings to win this purely because of defense. However, I could totally see the Rams winning this. Just it's Thursday night. They're at home. They got Cooper Kupp back. He's gonna get the ball plenty of times, and maybe the Vikings downfall might start, maybe it started last week. If there is a downfall, it could continue this week, but I'm going to stick with the defense that's been playing really hard and give Minnesota the win. New York Jets at the Patriots. Jets are a fucking laughing stock at this point, and yet I'm still going to pick them, even though I don't believe they deserve any more wins thanks to Aaron Rodgers getting his way and just looking abysmal versus the Steelers. Patriots, they're starting, a rookie quarterback in his third game. And while I like to see him get some wins, I just don't think it's going to happen against this Jets tough secondary. But Jets could get it rolling. They have a very favorable schedule still, even after losing all these games. So look to see them bounce back in this one. Packers at the Jaguars. I mean, is there really any hope? Jaguars won, but I mean, they beat the Patriots, but was it really that convincing? The Packers just look really good. Like even their top receiver is only getting like a few, like 20 yards per game. Like the last couple games, Jordan Love just he looks great some weeks. He looks okay and like makes a couple bad mistakes, but the Packers just got so much versatility. Robert Kraft or Tucker Kraft, sorry, is has 4 touchdowns on the year. Jaden Reed is explosive as ever. You got to watch for Romeo Dobbs. You got to watch for Christian Watson. Josh Jacobs is still having a great year. He actually had his first receiving touchdown in his career, which is pretty weird to say. I feel like I've seen the Raiders give him the ball more than that. But anyways, yeah, I don't see any hope for the Jaguars here. It could happen. I really don't think the Jaguars can pull off the upset other than that it's at Jacksonville. So with that being said, yeah, Packers are going to win this pretty easily to me. I don't really see the Packers falling for the trap here. Meanwhile, this game is poor Buccaneers, dude. Oh my god. Chris Godwin, what, he's second in the NFL in receiving yards. He was having a stellar year. Mike Evans caught his 100th career touchdown. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, and all shit went down the drain in the last minute of the game. I feel really bad for the Buccaneers. I mean, they're going to be without their top 2 receivers, and Rachaad White finally had a really good game after 7 weeks. He got it going through the ground and especially receiving. They've got a three-headed trio at running back with Sean Tucker and Bucky Irving along with White, which I really like. But I don't know. They're gonna need those 2 guys. They were having a stellar year, and I think the Falcons are not gonna lose 2 in a row. I think the Seahawks just caught them off guard. I think Kirk is gonna have a solid game here. I don't really see the Buccaneers pulling off an upset here. I think the Falcons will be just fine. Ravens at the Browns. Is there really any hope? I mean, there's a couple matchups this week where it's just very one sided. This being one of them. Lamar scored way more than he needed to. The game was way out of hands up until and then he had a fumble 6 because the receiver caught it backwards and dropped it, and therefore that counts as a fumble. So then he just makes up for it by scoring a couple more touchdowns. That's just messed up. And the Browns, I mean, Deshaun Watson, he looks like he's out for the season, so they're gonna have Jameis Winston in, who I think should have been the better play, anyways. Although it's conflicting to say how people should have reacted to Deshaun Watson's injury in the stadium, whether he should have gotten booed or not. It's kind of crazy. I mean, if you believe all the stuff he did, then you boo the hell out of him. If you don't, anyways, I'm sorry. Uh, yeah, Ravens just look like the best team. Derrick Henry is balling. Lamar is balling. Not even just through running game. He is passing through everyone. Ever since the whole, if when Lamar came out in the interview and just said, "Oh, if I what do I care about stats if we're not winning? You know, what do I care if I'm not throwing 300 passing yards? Well, now he's throwing like over 300 passing yards and rushing for over 50 yards and winning. So now he's proving everybody wrong. It's gotta suck to be a Lamar hater. They're looking so good. Titans at the Lions. Hey, what do you know? Another one-sided matchup. The only difference is it could have been even worse. Titans fans are gonna get spared because they just gave away DeAndre Hopkins. So I hope the Titans lose 65-0. Even without Aiden Hutchinson, I think the Lions will be fine as long. I'm hoping they trade for Max Crosby. I think that'll make a significant impact considering the loss. And the Titans decided to give Chiefs DeAndre Hopkins for what, a 5th round pick conditional that can turn into a 4th round pick. So they're doing nothing. They've got nothing going for them. It's at Detroit. Detroit's gonna be happy. Detroit's gonna smack them. Probably win, I'd say 37-6. This game is probably the toughest non-primetime game I've got this week because I could see either of these teams winning. It's going to come down to defense. And the defense of the Bengals hasn't looked great, but the offense has. Like, Joe Burrow has put up great numbers aside from the Giants game, whereas the Eagles just destroy the Giants. Nick Sirianni is having a role, you know, but how much praise do you give the Eagles for beating up the Giants? I mean, it's the Giants. Malik Neighbors didn't even have that many receptions. He didn't get that many targets. And it's at Cincinnati, and I could totally see either one winning. Saquon looks great, though. You still got A.J. Brown. You got Devontae Smith. Jalen Hurts just doing what he needs to do. And I don't know whose defense is going to get the stop they need. I kind of trust the Eagles' defense a little less. Early, at least. I think late game, I think the Eagles' defense could do something. But I really don't know. This is 50-50 for me. The Bengals need this win majorly. Their upcoming schedule, they've got some favorable matchups, but considering their very slow start, I've said it for a few weeks now, they need these wins badly. If any costly loss at this point under 500 could probably be, you know, the season for them. And I think even with the loss, I think the Eagles will be just fine. They're going to try to blame the loss on Nick Sirianni or however be. But Eagles could totally win this game too. This game could probably turn into 30 pluses for each team and come down to a game-winning field goal. We're going to see. Hopefully the Bengals don't ice their own kicker this time. So I'm just going to go with the Bengals right here with a slight upset right now. Arizona Cardinals getting the win over the Chargers in a very ref flag-heavy game. And the Dolphins are supposed to get Tua back. We're just waiting on the official word that he will start, which I think he will, which is why I'm going to be going with the Dolphins. Not just because Tua's going to be back, but the Cardinals seem to be inconsistent. They seem to win one, lose one, look good, look bad, look good, look bad. And while they didn't look great, they did get the win over the Chargers. You know, Kyler Murray put up a drive. James Conner looks good in that last drive. They held the Chargers to 0 touchdowns, but considering the amount of passing yards they have, you'd think they'd score 1 touchdown, but no, the kicker was the only reason Chargers were even in that game, which is absolutely insane. The defense were still good, but you know, if you're the Chargers, you need a freaking receiver to do something. This is why you shouldn't have gotten rid of Keenan Allen. You know why? Because Keenan Allen would have had every single 3rd down reception, regardless of matchup, regardless of who's guarding him. And the Chargers don't have that guy right now, and that's probably like a loss or two on them for that. Regardless of contracts, I bet you wish you had Keenan Allen right now. So, anyways, give me the Dolphins in this one and Tua's return. If Tua does not play for some reason, I'm gonna stick with the Dolphins, although I could switch my pick. I'll let you guys know next week if I switch my pick. I'll screenshot my results that time. Colts at the Texans. Texans having a major loss under Green Bay, not putting up the most offensive outing. Man, that Nico Collins injury is really getting to them, whereas the Colts seems to be the lack of faith in their starting quarterback and wanting to put Joe Flacco in. Anthony Richardson has horrible completion percentages, whereas Flacco is swinging the ball to everyone he knows. And I don't think the Texans are going to lose multiple games in a row now. They're not going to lose every game just because Nico Collins is out. Like, they still have plenty of studs on this. It's in Houston. I'm going to go with the Texans in this one, just to barely beat out the division rivals. The Colts put up a hell of a fight the first time. I think it'll be close. Unless Jonathan Taylor's not playing. I'm still waiting on the word on that one. If he's not playing, then give me the Texans by double digits. If not, I think this comes down to a couple last-minute drives. Bills at the Seahawks. Seahawks Seahawks put me in my place. They finally beat a good team. Getting trick plays, JSN finding DK for some chuck ups. Although DK is injured right now, his status is up in the air right now, and because of that, I mean Kenneth Walker has looked great so far this year, but the Bills, I mean, they've looked almost unstoppable. I am very excited for some future games regarding the Bills against like the Chiefs and the Niners and whoever else they have to play. And Josh Allen hasn't thrown a single interception this year. And because I said that, he's probably going to throw one this game. So sorry, Bills, if I enter Josh Allen no interception streak. But hey, it was a good streak. But anyways, I think the Bills, it'll be tough playing at Seattle. It's never easy playing at Seattle. And I think they've got a lot to prove with this game. They beat the Falcons. That's good. Now let's see what you can do against a juggernaut. And I think the Bills are just going to barely outscore them. I could see Seattle making this like a 1 point game. I don't really see Seattle winning this game just because I love what I'm seeing from Josh Allen. Amari Cooper, first game in, he's asking what routes he's running, and he's scoring touchdowns off routes he wasn't even sure he was supposed to run in the first place. So what happens when him and Josh gain a huge amount of chemistry? And even Keon Coleman, he had multiple catches for once this season and over 100 yards. Now even the wide receivers 3 and 4s are they're like the Packers of the AFC. Like they've got so much people to guard. So with that being said, I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills to beat the Seattle Seahawks. Saints at the Chargers. This is gonna be a slugfest. No Rashid Shaheed for the year for the Saints. That sucks. I liked Shaheed coming out. Kamara just revealed that he's been playing with somewhat of a broken hand these last couple games, which is why he hasn't looked that as effective. Chris Olave's status is up in the air. He might not play. He might. Even if he does, he's Chargers, they kind of shut down Marvin Harrison Jr. I think they'll do the same thing with Chris Olave, at least when it comes to significant route running. And they're not gonna have Derek Carr back, so that's only the reason I'm picking the Chargers here. It's in LA. Saints just haven't looked good. They got absolutely demolished by the Broncos. I don't see the Chargers, winning 33 to 3 or whatever. But I think the Chargers should bounce back with a fairly easy matchup in this one. Bears at the Commanders. Man, this could be such a good game. It really just depends on if Jayden Daniels plays. I want Jayden Daniels to play so I can have an exciting game. If he doesn't play, I'm going to pick the Bears. I already am picking the Bears. For one, I'm picking the Bears if he doesn't play. If he does play, I'm still picking the Bears because the Bears defense has been getting it going and the offense has looked better and better these last couple of weeks. And they were coming off a bye. Plenty of time to prepare for this game. I think they're going to do just enough to beat the Commanders, especially if Jayden Daniels is not playing. But I look forward to seeing Jayden Daniels return if he misses this game. He's going to come back hungrier than ever. Bears just look too good, though, on both sides of the ball. They've improved significantly. Chiefs at the Raiders. Chiefs. I can't fucking believe that the Niners lost the way they did. Ayuk is gone for the year. Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes has more interceptions than touchdowns. Like, what type of Marcus Mariota bullshit is that? And wait till he starts having games where he's throwing 3 touchdowns. Wait till they get Isaiah Pacheco back. Now they have DeAndre Hopkins. Thanks, Titans, once again, you assholes. Who's going to stop them? I'm looking at the rest of their schedule. The Chiefs at most will lose 2 games, maybe 3, if they've clinched a bye and they just lose to a division rival. Raiders, I mean, I know they beat the Chiefs last year before, but it's not going to happen. The Raiders are abysmal at this point, so give me the Chiefs on this one. Panthers at Broncos. This one's going to be even worse. There's so many one-sided matchups this week. Oh my God, how much crap is going to happen this week where someone loses 28-0 or 31-9? This game, they're going to start Bryce Young. And I just feel really bad. Bryce Young's getting fed to the Wolves. What are they going to do? Bryce Young's going to look bad. Then they're going to start Andy Dalton again. Then Andy Dalton's going to look bad. And they're just going to go back and forth and just screw it and just take the first overall pick. Yeah, Broncos win by 1 million here. Sunday Night Football. Oh, God, this game. Niners are horribly injured right now. They might not even have Juwan Jennings. Brandon Ayuk done for the year. Debo has pneumonia. Kittle hurt. CMC is still out. They got Jordan Mason. Maybe Jordan Mason can run for over 200 yards against the Cowboys' horrible run defense and horrible run offense. Can't do much against the Niners defense. We're gonna see what Brock Purdy can really do without any of his weapons, because Juwan Jennings didn't play as of today, being Wednesday. So if he doesn't play, I might pick the Cowboys here. But if Juwan Jennings can play, because you can't rely on Jordan Mason. I can't even name the other 49ers receivers right now. I should have done a little more research before this, but it's all right. I'm still going to pick the Niners just because, like, even with the bye week, Cowboys have looked like absolute shit. At least the Niners lost to the Chiefs, who nobody seems to be able to stop at this point at their worst. So I can give a little pass there. We're going to see what Brock Purdy looks like without any of those playmakers at best. But I just don't believe in the Cowboys, At San Francisco in prime time, I mean, this is a perfect chance for San Francisco to bounce back and embarrass the Cowboys, honestly. They're not going to get anything going on the run because they haven't all year. And this is the Jordan Mason game. If the Niners win, it's going to be through Jordan Mason and Brock Purdy playing small ball. That's all you can really do. If the Cowboys win, it's because Dak slung the ball 400 times and Brock Purdy turned it over more than he should have already. If the Cowboys win, it's because Brock Purdy turned it over multiple times, maybe like 2 or 3 interceptions or bad third down throws because he couldn't find anybody, or he doesn't have the playmakers because Juwan Jennings is ruled out for the game. So this game could go either or. I'm going to be monitoring this and Juwan Jennings and seeing what the game plan looks like. But for now, I'm going to roll with the Niners to beat the Cowboys. And the final match, also being another one-sided game. Yeah, Pittsburgh looked great. They embarrassed the Jets. I did not expect that. I did not expect that at all. I said I would have picked the Steelers if Justin Fields played. Well, Russell Wilson just shut me the fuck up. Man, good job, Russell. That was some great play. Like the amount of plays his receivers were making by his little touch passes, and George Pickens was getting it going, and the Steelers defense is as great as ever. I don't see a reason to ever. I don't know. Steelers just look so good. Like now all the talks about how all they ever do is go 9-7, 9-8, or 10-7 even, just for a wild card exit. They might be able to actually do something, at least in the first round. We'll see what happens coming up, like later in the season. But Steelers look really good, and they have 2 quarterbacks who can play. This is gonna be an interesting season, especially when it comes to the AFC North games. I'm very curious to see how the Steelers do when going against, the Bengals, the Browns, and especially the Ravens. And they got the Chiefs up too. But regardless, I've got the Steelers winning here. And those have been my NFL Week 8 picks and predictions. Thank you all so much. I hope you like and subscribe. Stick around for next week. I'm going to be having a lot more videos coming up around the midseason. I'm going to be doing mid-season picks and predictions about the rest of the season for each division, and then the season overall up until the wild card round. So stick around for that. Hope you all have a good NFL Sunday, and I'll see y'all next week. Peace.